So as I mentioned, today's session is a bit different than usual in that we won't necessarily have a presenter. We will have Share Network present, but also each of you all will present and that we get to discuss some things to help us as we plan for our future community partner meetings. So just to give a bit of background information about Share Network, Share Network began in July of 2015 as the University of Chicago GWEP. And a GWEP is a geriatric workforce enhancement program that pretty much focuses on supporting the community with healthy aging. And we do that through providing resources, um, free access to resources and educational programs. We have a partnership between the University of Chicago Medicine, community organizations such as yourselves, as well as healthcare organizations. And our main mission is to bring older adults, caregivers, primary care providers, geriatric specialists, all together to share knowledge and resources on Chicago's South Side and beyond. Many of you all have experienced that through educational programs being presented at your sites or virtually, as well as through our healthy aging resource guide, which I'm surprised I don't have one next to me right now, but we have that electronically as well as a manual handbook. And so I can provide the link to that a bit later. Our team is comprised of a few very intentional and special people that help us to do all the great work that we do. And I'm going to give a moment for everyone who's here today that's on the team to take a moment to introduce themselves. And we'll start with our program director, Dr. Kate or Catherine Thompson.
Thanks, Janelle. Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Thompson. I'm a geriatrician at University of Chicago and started Share Network back in 2015. And just really am so appreciative to Janelle for helping coordinate these community partners meetings and keep the work that we do closely connected to the work that you are all doing throughout communities on the South Side. So thank you all for joining, and thank you, Janelle, for organizing us.
Absolutely. Thank you. And next, Dr. Levine.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Levine. I've been a geriatrician and palliative medicine physician at University of Chicago for 20 years and have been actively working on a lot of different activities in healthy aging, and really am very impressed with the Share Network and all the work that they've been doing both regionally and nationally. And thank you all for being here.
Thank you. And I don't think Dr. Shelley joined us today or any of our other doctors, but all of our doctors are very great and they support us in providing those educational programs. We'll go ahead and hear from our administrative director, Renee Kroplowski.
Thanks, Janelle, and thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Renee Kroplewski. I am, as Janelle said, the administrative director here for the Share Network. I am a social worker by background who has specialized in working in the aging field and in healthcare, and love being part of this team because I love seeing the community involvement and the community engagement and all the programs and education that are coming about for all the families and for those who truly need the resources and support. So this is a fantastic team and lots of different education and community opportunities that come about. So very excited to be part of this team, and looking forward to continuing 2023 very strong with lots of additional programming. Thanks, Janelle.
Yes. And Monica Long.
Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Long. I am the clinical research nurse educator with the Share Network. I've been with the Share Network since 2016, right from the beginning. And I'm very, very proud, just like Renee said, I'm very, very proud of our team and how strong we have become. And also happy to see a lot of our partners from back 2016 in the beginning. So I'm glad that we're still such a strong partnership. We have such a strong relationship, and Janelle is making sure that we keep these relationships going. So I'm very, very happy to see a lot of people that I've known for quite some time on this call. So thank you for joining us, and we hope that you bring more people to us, more partners, and we can continue to grow.
Thank you, Monica. Jeff?
Hey, everybody, I'm Jeff Grobner. I'm the Program Development and Evaluation Manager with the Share Network. I've been with the team for almost 6 years now. You love working with the community and loving seeing all the organizations come together. So I'm sort of doing the evaluation research sort of corner of Share Network, but we do a lot of sharing, as the name implies. So we all do a lot of tasks together. So happy to be here.
Thank you, Jeff. And Tiffany? Oh, Tiffany, I think you're still on mute.
There
It
you go.
happens. It's okay.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Tiffany Smith, project coordinator for the Share Network. I've been a part of the team close to 8 months now, so super excited to continue on. In terms of my role, I manage our healthy aging presentations that are in the community, our resource guide distribution, and then creating and distributing our monthly newsletter, just to name a few. So hopefully some of you all have been either attending some of those presentations or receiving our resource guides and receiving our newsletter. If you haven't and want to sign up to receive our monthly newsletter, please drop in your email address and I'd be happy to add you as a subscriber. So thank you, Janelle, for inviting us to be a part of this, and I look forward to what's ahead in the new year.
Thank you.
You're
We
welcome.
also have Chris Versati, who I don't think was able to join us today. He is our social work student intern, and he will work with possibly a few of you as well as we do more community events. And then again, my name is Janelle Bennett, the community health worker, and I pretty much just focus on building relationships with each of you so that we continue to serve older adults in the best ways possible. So enough about us. We want to get a little further into these community partner meetings, why we do them. Give me one moment. All righty. And so as aging service providers, you each service such a vast amount of older adults and with such great diversity. And we want to be able to not only support our mission of supporting healthy aging through resources and education, but we want to do that by being a hub or a safe space for aging service providers such as yourselves. I want to make sure that we're able to meet your needs, and we do so by hosting the monthly community partner meetings as just one way of being able to meet your needs. We want to make sure that you all have a designated space to receive knowledge, support, and resources that can provide you all with that fuel that you need to continue to service those that you provide your services to. We all each understand on our team just how much outpouring that is, how much energy that takes, and we want to make sure that you guys are thriving and able to keep going in that. So we hope that the community partner meetings have been just that for you. And again, we thank you each for attending so that this can be successful each month. So I'd like to take a moment and just recap a bit of our 2022 presenters. We had a very vast amount and a good wealth of presenters throughout 2022. And we heard from Maureen Stemming of the Crown Family School of Social Work. We began our year out with her. And then Kate Paz of Mather Community Programs, Gail Sketcher of Housing Opportunities and Maintenance for Elderly, better known as HOME, Dr. Raj Shah of the Illinois Cognitive Resources Network, Lucas Livingston and Susan Alito of Chicago Hyde Park Village, along with Janie Urbanic of the South Loop Village. And together they share with us about the village model. We heard from Chandra Brown of Centers for New Horizons, Diane Mariani of Rush Medical Center's Caring for Caregivers program. We also heard from our very own University of Chicago geriatrician, Dr. Justine Landy, as she presented on a new community program titled Alcohol and Medications in Older Adults. Also, Brenda Taylor of ESRD Rockstars, which stands for End-Stage Renal Disease Rockstars, and they support caregivers of end-stage renal disease. Then we, in October, heard from Ani Humani and Lisa Salazar of the community organization Treatment Not Trauma. In November, we sort of ended our year with a really great panel, the Dementia Friendly panel, and we had the pleasure of hearing from Janie Urbanic of South Loop Village, Dorothy Pytel of Chicago Hyde Park Village, Teresha Washington of Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center, Tessa McEwen of University of Chicago's Department of Neurology, and Phyllis Temple of the Northwestern University's Mesulam Center for Cognitive Neurology and Alzheimer's Disease. I hope I got that right. They each gave us a wealth of knowledge on just how to become dementia friendly and uphold dementia friendly communities. And then we ended our year with Sarah Zudanek of the University of Chicago's Lindahl Lab, as she shared with us their new male caregiver research study. So I want to give a round of applause to all those that helped us to have a really great, successful 2022. And we're looking forward to the same in 2023. We truly appreciate each and every presenter and the impact that you have helped to make in our communities. So as I stated, in 2022, we had successful community partner meetings, and we want to continue that, but we cannot continue that without your input in that planning. So we're now going to take some time to reflect on your past successes and things that you're looking forward to, so that here at the Share Network, we can support you in that. And as a group, we'll take some time and discuss a few questions. Our first question is, what is one thing your organization did great in 2022 that you would like to highlight? So anyone can feel free. There's no set order to this. This is an open discussion, but it's just some time for you to share with the group some ideas that you maybe brought to life. If there's something internally that you did that helped you to become better in the work that you do, anything that you would like to share with the group.
I can start. One thing that, hi, my name's Phyllis. I'm at the Mesulam Center. You did a good job pronouncing. I know that's a mouthful, Janelle.
Thank you.
One thing that I'm super proud of our organization for is just building a lot of new relationships and with organizations and other universities. My position is new, so I started in March. And I'm just really proud of the relationships that we were able to develop in a short time, and the partnerships that we were able to develop, and the existing partnerships before I got here that we were able to strengthen. Yeah, and I think using those partnerships to really provide programming, particularly our memory cafes, and starting a virtual memory cafe was really one of my highlights for the year.
Thank you so much, Phyllis, for sharing that. Yes, those partnerships, relationships, they are the core of what we do.
I'll be happy to share a little something too. Hi, Lucas Livingston, Chicago Hyde Park Village. And I think, well, something that we did great this past year, well, besides hiring me, but no,
Yes.
No. Well, every year for many years, Hyde Park Village has been co-hosting with Augustana Lutheran Church an annual Thanksgiving Day gathering. And the organization, Hyde Park Village, is really all about neighbors helping neighbors, helping older adults to remain actively engaged in the community and have access to resources and services. And I think I really like to point at this Thanksgiving Day gathering that we do as something that is just exemplary of the mission. It's about building community. It's about creating a space for older adults in the area who maybe don't have friends or family nearby with whom to celebrate Thanksgiving. And so coming together in a community feast, a gathering that's accessible to all, and breaking bread together. So it's just a wonderful way to celebrate the community, and to provide that social support network for those who may not have that already. And then also in addition to assembling in person, to bring meals out to homebound individuals who also wouldn't have others with whom to celebrate Thanksgiving Day. Because I guess something I was saying is that if nobody should have to be alone on Thanksgiving if they don't want to be. So,
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, Lucas. And thank you all for staying connected in that way. Harriet, I see you have your hand raised. Harriet, I think you're still on mute. I'm sorry.
I'm Secretary of the Board of Directors of Off the Pews, Faith in Action. And some of you may remember Dr. Sammy Dart, who began this program in 2014 and unfortunately died suddenly in July of 2020. So I would say one really great thing we did this year is hire Cheryl Benson as our executive director, as Sammy put together a board of many gifts that it takes, and Sammy had many gifts. So I see Cheryl as our executive director is on her, and it's the great thing we did this year was to hire her.
Thank you. Do you want to share a bit about brief information about Off the Pews for the group?
I could say a little bit more. We've been COVID has been more difficult for us as we've done our programming. We do a lot of things at the Hyde Park Art Center, and the Hyde Park Art Center is one of our partners. And we've done some programs on Zoom with the youth. And I see Joyce Butts, who's also on our board. Susan Alioto is also on our board, and Cheryl is here if they would like to share. But we're looking ahead to an exciting 2023 year as we can let our seniors get out a bit more. As we have done, we do things on Zoom, but it's been more difficult to reach the seniors.
Yes. Well, let us know how we can help with that. Thank you all.
Will do.
Okay, I will. This is Cheryl Benson. I will say a couple of things. As Harriet said, I am the newly hired executive director with Off the Pews, and our mission is to to serve the community through intergenerational. We are faith-based model and justice, and to design. We're designed to embrace inclusion and reduce the impact of trauma that results from systemic violence. So collaborating with other organizations and working together with seniors and our young people is something that we're really looking to do. So I am personally excited to be a part of this group to gain knowledge and collaborate with you guys so that we can build great communities and work with our young people and our seniors together.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself and your mission at Off the Pews. And let's be in touch, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes, I second that. If you could make sure that your information is in the chat so that I can connect with you as well. We were very interested in connecting with Off the Pews again since the passing of Sammy. We miss her.
The information is there. I did put it there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to discuss some great things or highlight some great things within 2022? If not, it's okay. We can move on to the next.
Janelle.
Hi,
Hi. So my name is Karen Graham. I'm the manager of community engagement at the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center. We're one of 33 Alzheimer's disease centers in the country and one of 2 in the city of Chicago. To me, our biggest thing that we've done this past year is to maintain and build on relationships that we've had. We created at least 100 new collaborations this past year. And the other thing I think is really important is that we maintain the relationships that we built before COVID. I think that's one of the hardest things, especially not being able to get out for the longest time. But we continue to stay in contact with important leaders and try to provide innovative ways to support the community that we serve. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And that's very commendable, like 100 new relationships, new partnerships. That's huge. That's nothing to keep to yourself. So thank you. And if you have the ingredients, the special ingredients that make that great, let us know. We all need that. But I really did want to take a moment to start out thinking about what we did great, because by nature, it's really easy to sometimes think about what else needs to be done, what more work we need to do, our huge to-do list, just starting a year out. And so it's good to take some time and just reflect on what makes us so great and some things that we really did accomplish in the year so that we can use that in moving forward. So thank you all for sharing. Okay. So now I'd like to just have some discussion about what's one thing you are looking forward to learning or ways you're looking forward to grow. And we ask that so that we can then know ways to support in that. So if we know what you need, then that helps us to know what to look for and what to bring to you each.
I can jump in. My name is Sarah. I work There's community initiatives. As you said, Kate Paz presented on Mather early in 2022, and we had a lot of changes since then. We are starting to build back out our virtual programs and hopefully some in-person soon. And we have Angela Lyons-Smith on the call today for the first time, who is our new Director of Community Partnerships in Community Initiatives. Angela, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to jump in. And so I think we just want to reconnect with some of those partnerships that we lost track of in all the changes of COVID and beyond that, and to start building back up our community and Mather's commitment to the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much for letting us know that that team is coming together and we have a new executive director. And no, we're not putting you on the spot, Angela, but I would like to meet with you.
I would love to meet with you too, and so many of you on this call. So thank you so much for bringing us together today. And I was kind of on the fence of like, do I share about what was great about 2022? I think that our team, we really, sadly, with having to close the cafes, I think in this year are really dreaming big about how we are a meaningful partner with others across the city, and hoping to launch some new programs where our team has been active. And Sarah certainly, and Ruth, I don't know if you have met either of them or met Ruth before, but they're doing virtual programs and in this right now, and I'll put a link for this in the chat as well, but Ruth and Sarah have been working on developing something called Creative Community Kits, which is it's a pilot right now of 10 weeks or a series of 10 different projects that are fiber-based, that are about thinking about community, but also creative engagement and building community through an arts-based lens. So I would love it if it's possible to share this for people to sign up and access this kit, and also more importantly, opportunity to learn together and to be engaged in creative making together and build community and relationships, meaningful relationships that way. But I'm so eager to get to know all of you on this call.
And same, and absolutely you can share that. As I was stating, we have at the end where everyone can share program updates. So as that really comes about, that's a great time at our future meetings for you to come post that information in the chat, or you can also email that information to me, and then I will make sure to pass it along to everyone in the group, as well as we can even post that in our newsletter. So there's many ways that we can help to get the word out, but you're in the right place. I did see that we had a hand raised. I think they put it back down, but if you had your hand raised and you want to speak, go ahead.
I did have my hand raised. This is Cheryl Benson again. We are really looking to gain the support of our community leaders and everyone that works in on these type of forums. We are looking to find seniors and young people that are willing to work along with our programs so that we can build the community in a way that's going to help each of them together. We want to grow with especially our young people who we feel like have really lost hope. And we want to bring hope to a community that is just really suffering behind so much of the violence that's going on in our city. So we look to help them grow in ways that are unknown to them and give them opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise have access to.
Okay. Thank you. And as you think of new ideas and as you build relationships with leaders, make sure to let us know how we can support you in that, not just getting the word out, but if there's anything we can attend, let us know. Anita Jefferson, I see you have your hand raised.
Yes, how are you, dear?
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that here at our Arden Courts in South Highland, we are doing our monthly support group again. This month on the 31st of Tuesday, we are going to be having 2 representatives from hospice companies come and talk about dementia and hospice and how they coincide with each other and when is the best time to decide when that is needed. And we are doing them in person again, so which is great. So on the last Tuesday of each month, we'll do dinner and a topic for that of any sort. And I definitely welcome anybody that actually want to talk to some of our caregivers, some of our families, communities, and things like that, to just get in touch with me. I'd love to have you.
All righty, thank you. That is something to really look forward to. We need as many caregiver support groups as possible.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have a question. Are they both virtually and in person, or they're now solely in person?
Well, so far, I've just doing them in person. If someone would like me to do them virtually, I guess I could bring my iPad back there and we could do it virtually. But since they opened back up and let me do it November, we didn't do one in December. And now I got people calling. So I think we're gonna just try to stick with the in-person and still, do our social distance to the best of our ability as we can.
All right, well, thank you. I just wanted to know, so as we spread the word, we know what to share. But thank you.
All
You
right.
have a flyer for that you can share with us?
I think I sent you one, but I'll send another one to the whole group. Yeah.
Okay, all
All
right,
right. Thanks, dear.
no problem. Renee, you have your hand raised?
Yes, thank you, Janelle. And Anita, I'm going to piggyback on just what you were saying about programs. One thing Share Network is always looking to do is to be able to utilize this forum to share all those events. And we're really looking to make sure we have as much information available, not just even to our community, but to those who access our website and those resources. That's why we have a resource guide, and we want to distribute that to as many individuals as possible. So the more you get those flyers, the more you have events that you're able to share with us, the more that we can also help bring that out in the community too. So please do not hesitate to send us that information. I did put my email address too in the chat, but we would love to get those flyers, love to hear about programs that are, benefiting the community in any way, shape, or form, that helps us all grow, that helps us also, word of mouth is so powerful, so powerful. So the more that we can distribute that, the better. We want to make sure that all of our different programmings for all of our partners have a strong footing. So please share that. I'm just gonna just emphasize that. So thanks, Janelle.
No, thank you, Renee. And that was very well said. So we're going to go into our next discussion question. So do any of you all have any topics of interest or a community organization that you would like to have present at any of our upcoming meetings?
Hi, Janelle. I thought I would just chime in a little bit. Gail was one of the speakers last year, and she talked about our intentional intergenerational program that we're trying to develop a model for. We have a service model. We're in the process of seeing if that model really works for the people we tend to serve in that intergenerational program. So we are in the process of having a recruitment. We're working with an intern from Rush to help us do some recruitment of seniors as well as young people, so that we can determine if various groups could in fact live together and participate intentionally in a community. So it's not just putting people in the same space, but also trying to develop a model where they're forced to sort of work together or live together in more intentional forms.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Matley, because I saw she was on the phone, would talk a little bit about the first ever community health fair that they hosted this past year with the help of the Shared Network. That it was well attended, both by community folk and people in the building. But we will probably just post something. I'll send you something that we're trying to use as a recruitment piece for people who might want to participate in that.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. That goes in that category of things to look forward to, great things you all have down the line. Are there any like interests that we can maybe have come to present that can support you in that?
I don't know. I mean, it's like we presented the model, but now we're trying to really figure out if that model works for the people who are trying to set it up for.
Okay.
Because you know how we assume we know. We assume we've looked at enough other models that we're going to develop this. But before we do, I said, I think we should try and figure out if people really like this. I mean, if they feel like it's something they would participate in.
Mm-hmm. Well, we look forward to hearing more about that. Thank you so much, Pat.
You're welcome.
And Lucas, I saw you had your hand raised, and then Melissa. So we'll start with Lucas.
Oh, sure. Yeah, thanks. Can I kind of cheat and answer questions 2, 3, and 4 all as sort of one answer?
Sure. No cheating.
But I think to a large extent, really just kind of focusing in terms of what we want to learn, what resources we need better access to, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility as we move forward this year and the years ahead. How can we, the Hyde Park Village, best provide access to all the plethora of, or best help to steward and facilitate access to all the resources that the aging population might need, like transportation, in-home help, etc., socialization, especially prioritizing historically marginalized populations and identities. As we move ahead, how can we best give them access to resources and make us as an organization really seem relevant if we don't have that kind of internal expertise So what resources might we access through the SHARE network to in support of prioritizing DEIA for older adults? Really all of that. Those are things we hope to learn, things we hope to get from the SHARE network and our community partners, building that internal capacity within our organization. Yeah.
That's rich and that's needed. And I'm glad that you all are thinking down those lines and in that way. And so to make sure I understand exactly, or I got a gist of it, we're recording, we all start taking notes, but I want to make sure I got that correctly in my notes. At Chicago Hyde Park Village, you guys want to focus a bit more on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how to have pretty much access in a broad way for things such as in-home help, transportation, healthcare. I think I got that as the gist of it. That's what I got in my notes. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And building up our own internal expertise, our own capacity to ensure that as an organization, we're making those strides towards equity and inclusion for older adults in our community. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lucas. Thank you so much for that. And then Melissa, you have your hand raised?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, so one of our goals is to find ways to connect and communicate with active seniors, but one of the topics that I think that maybe be a benefit to the group will be for them to utilize when they're working with their clientele is maybe the joys and challenging of aging, or like the joys and challenging of like senior living. Many people, our building is like a diamond in the rough because we're independent and assisted living, but we're private pay. Many people have made decisions for their next care status and never knew about that we existed, or this could have been an option. This could have brought them more time, or they could have had a different living arrangement in a different home setting. So I would love to have our voice out there even more for the professionals to know about who we are, what we offer, and how we can look for some of their clients or people that they may come past. Plus also find more ways to communicate with the senior citizens who are active and let them know that this is a resource, that nursing home is not the next step. We can be your next step when time comes, and you don't have to have a major health change or situation change. You just may want a new living arrangement. So we'd love to just speak to people about the challenge of thinking about moving, and it's not so bad, especially if you come here.
And can you explain what HERE is? Let us know a bit more about your organization. I know, but I want everyone else to know.
So we're autumn like the season, green like the color at Midway Village. We're a senior housing community for those who are 55 and better. We are independent and assisted living, and we also it's private pay. What's nice about our building is people can move into our community in an apartment setting and receive like a retirement living experience with meals, housekeeping, and programs, phenomenal programs here. Whether you're independent or not, again, it's more like a resort feeling for our residents because we make their day while their worries are a thing of the past when they had their homes or living in the neighborhood with different age brackets. So they're around their peers throughout the day. We, again, put together a well-balanced program and meals and things for them to enjoy. And their biggest challenge is waking up, asking the kitchen what did they make for the meal and what's on the program for the day. Also, when it comes to care component, our team is excellent at what they do when it comes to the assisted living care plans, and they're going to take care of them with pride and dignity behind closed doors and let them go on about their day as well too. And their care needs and challenges are being maintained by experts throughout the day.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And if you have any programs that are open to the public, do you ever have that? Maybe we can let others know about
Yes, I
your
have a
program.
list of them. Yes.
Okay.
Should I share them with you or
Yes,
email them
you
to
can
someone?
email those to me. Absolutely.
I sure will. Okay.
Thank you.
All
Do
right,
we
thank
have,
you.
I'm sorry. Did we have another hand raised or anyone else who wanted to contribute to this question? Okay, we'll go to our very last discussion question. And that is, are there any resources you need for yourself or older adults? And we may have answered this already in some ways, so that's fine. But if there's someone who didn't get a chance to speak on any resources you need for yourself or for the older adults you serve.
I think for me, like, this platform is a really important resource, just to know what else is out there and who else is doing work similar to the work that we do, and who could be potential partners and collaborators. And so I think that this space is really important, and I just appreciate the space. And yeah, I hope that we can continue in this space and continue to share and draw in more people, so we can just all know what's out there for seniors in the community.
I agree, not to like toot our own horn, but I agree that we are a resource. That is what our focus is, and we are needed so that you guys can know what all you have available to you. But not only that, so that the great work that you're doing can be shared amongst each other instead of just staying there trying to figure out how to connect. We have a place that makes that easily available. So thank you for pointing that out, Phyllis. Someone posted in the chat, Nicole Righty, she said that her mic and camera isn't working currently, but she still would like to share. And she thinks it will be helpful to have presentations on normalizing loss, grief, and death. Absolutely. Also working on ways to decrease stereotypes and bias regarding older adults and their abilities and worth. Nicole, you hit it on the nail. Yes, that is so needed. So thank you for sharing that. I mean, both of them are prevalent, and we need to know how to discuss each, but that loss, grief, death is something we all have to face at some time or another, and to be able to have that available for our communities and know how to cope with it, I think is just so pertinent and so needed. So thank you for saying that. I didn't even think of that. So thank you so much, Nicole. And I'm glad you put that in writing. It's a good thing that your mic and camera isn't working, because those words exactly is what we need noted. So thank you.
I was just going to add, Nicole, I totally agree. And it made me think of one of the initiatives for our DEI Council this year was to bring in someone from Access Living to speak about ageism or ableism. And I feel like we've been doing some presentations on ageism. I feel like something that combines both ableism and ageism kind of, and this is your second point, Nicole, but would be really powerful for us as a group, and to further challenge those narratives that are really damaging to the populations that we serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how we can get it out further instead of just here in our group, but ways that we can continue to expand that message. We'll look into that. Thank you. Okay, we got two hands raised, Susan Alito and Harriet Dart. Susan, I think I saw yours first. I'm sorry if it was the other way around.
Okay. Well, this has been mentioned already, but I just want to emphasize it. And this is something that you do very well, is helping us learn what resources are available and how to help our population navigate the various transitions that they go through as they get older. It's people kind of fall through the cracks because they don't know what to do or who to access or what they're entitled to. So we just need this over and over again, to how to navigate the system.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
Can I just respond to that really quickly? I just wanted to let you know, Susan, and everyone on the call, that keep an eye out for our next version of our resource guide, because we are going to have a special highlight section on just kind of navigating particularly like housing options and support options for people who may be needing a change. Because that's come up so many times, but we're always looking for ways to incorporate that type of information in all of our programming. So thank you for the suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. And now, Harriet, your hand's raised.
Right. Well, and Dr. Thompson prompted another one. How do we get some of those booklets to pass out to our, I'm sure Susan knows how to get those, but to pass out to some of our people. But what I think might be useful as I look around at some nonprofits here is a workshop on grant writing. In another organization that I'm at, I mean, through my church, a young woman gave an excellent presentation on grant writing that was understandable at the volunteer level versus the professional level. And, you know, I don't know if she would do it for here, but a couple of years ago, Off the Pews was able to get one of the University of Chicago community partners, community grants, which kind of looked at our strategic plan, which helped move us forward. And that would be one thing, but just, yeah, someone who could tell us how to write grants, who to talk to, how to find them. Yeah.
That's a really good idea, Harriet. And if you do have the information of the person that supported you in that and where you got that initial information from, that would be great. But either way, we will look, you know, for that. So we got grant writing on the list, but that's true. That's
I'll see if I can connect you.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Would be you, right, Janelle?
Yep, you can email that to me.
And Harriet, in response to the resource guys, I'm sorry to cut you off.
We're on the same page. I was going to say that. Go ahead, Monica.
In regards to the resource guys, we can absolutely get them to you as soon as possible. We have set up a date to be in the community, Janelle and I. So we plan to just make some stops at certain places with the resource guide, as well as our flyers for our caregiver support group. So if you need it before then, we can get it to you. Absolutely, we can connect with you. And anyone else on
Thank you.
And I'd like to add to that one. Thank you, Monica. Yes, we are pretty much anyone on the team can support in that. But as Tiffany stated earlier, like she's the distribution manager of our resource guides. And so if you ever want some dropped off or you want some mailed to you, you can contact her through email. So Tiffany, if you like, you can post that in your email, but either way, in the follow-up email, I always make sure to put her email address in there so you can directly contact Tiffany for more resource guides. We also have our electronic version. And when I stop sharing my screen, I can post that link in the chat as well.
Oh, actually, I had another idea as I just read the chat about reaching isolated seniors. As I was trying to connect with my sister who was isolated and looking for a place for her to live, I came across someone who gave a presentation on different electronic devices that are available for seniors. Some of them are more expensive, some of them are simpler to use. So that might be something. And I was at Kenwood, their health fair they have through the Norman Jean Saunders Free Clinic a month or so ago, and someone was showing about a phone that displays in words what the person is talking about. So that's an example of the kind of electronic digital tools that might be helpful for seniors. And this particular phone device is apparently, if you have a diagnosis of loss of hearing, available to people. So.
Thank you. So you're saying certain electronic devices that could be able to keep us connected to those who are socially isolated?
simple devices for seniors, not
Right, simple.
complicated.
That's the key word, right?
Well,
My,
I mean, this was a program which a particular assisted living organizational group presented as, you know, there must have been, I mean, for one thing is a phone, you know, a flip phone, simple flip phone, but then other ways, you know, you see them advertised on television of reaching out to your grandchildren, things like that. But a lot of those are too pricey. A lot of those are too complicated, but knowing the range that's available could be useful.
Yeah.
And resources for funding them.
Yeah, those are things that we can continue to look into.
And I'd love a program on music and memory.
Oh, yes. You often say that, how you like things with music and movement. And so that's a good one. We actually have something coming down the line in terms of movement, which I'm sure is going to involve music. So, but we will work with that, music and memory. Again, great ideas, everyone. Thank you so much, Harriet. We are pretty much at a close of our time. I'm like looking up, I'm like, whoa, it's already almost 3 o'clock. That went by very fast. So I will close the discussion only for the sake of time, not because we don't want to hear everyone, but I do want to respect everyone's time. If there are any additional ideas that you want to share, things that pop in your mind down the line, you can always email me. You can do that. I will post my email in the chat, but you can also keep in touch with us and the things that we have going on through our website, or you can email us for any more questions or ideas at info@sharenetworkchicago.org. So that's another way of staying in touch with us. I do want to highlight before we close something that was shared by Nicole Ridey. Again, her chat function is not operating well, so I'm going to go ahead and relay the message for her. But if anyone needs a presentation on loneliness in older adults, she completed her dissertation on that topic and she will be happy to help. She also has a variety of presentations on ambiguous loss for aging, mental health, substance abuse, and general loss as well if needed. So feel free to reach out. Her email is in the chat. I will also post her email in our follow-up email that is sent out. So I'm sure I missed a few other things that were listed in the chat, but I will make sure that I read through everything thoroughly and pass that everything along in our follow-up email. We tend to typically have time to share resources, but I think we honestly did a wealth of that throughout the time today. But if there's anyone who's like, hey, I had a resource or update or question that I have for the group, then do not hesitate to email that to me and I will make sure that that is spread amongst everyone. But with that, I thank you each for your contribution to this discussion, for helping us help you. We were very intentional to ask certain questions so that we could really know how to just cater each meeting and make sure that it's of most benefit to you all so that you can continue to do the great service that you do in your communities. Again, this doesn't stop here. If you have down the line more ideas, feel free to email them to me. And with that, I just want to close with saying thank you all. And again, Happy New Year. It's really great to see each of your faces and to even see some new faces. And look out for that follow-up email, which will have more details about and recapping our meeting.